All right. Ready?
Rage.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that did 2 hit me, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hit straight.
It's incredible. What is up, guys? Captain Wet here. I have felt the need to make this video regarding the current state of the game for Dark and Darker. I'm going to do my best to stay on point, but I've never made one of these before, so, you know, it's dark times right now. This video, I'm going to show off some limited testing. I didn't spend a ton of time testing this, but I think I've proven a point with what little testing I have done. This is going to be kind of hyperbole, but, I mean, it proves a point that shouldn't need to be proved at this point. If you're watching this video in the long future and this is all fixed, you could probably go on to the next one. You don't have to check this one out. But for now, we are currently living in patch 6 or season 6.5. At the moment, there is no random rolls on gear. We just have the base stats, and currently it really doesn't feel like there's a point to getting gear. HR lobbies are dead. The community sentiment is that the game is dying and no one wants to play it, and the people who are playing it, well, they're just running around in normals like idiots, hitting each other with bardishes and halberds because that's the way you should fight now. The game feels like it has no point or purpose, and SDF's vision is that we all can one-hit everybody or two-hit at worst, so that the time to kill is so low that anyone can win a 1v3 if they're good enough. I would argue you could have already done that in the past, especially if you had a good kit on, but I decided to go test some gear under SDF's vision. So for this example that I have, I've decided to test specifically a Barbarian full tank kit. This isn't even realistically what you would wear in this kit. You'd probably have some loose trousers to go faster, but here's the kit: reinforced glove, heavy leather leggings, a full northern, German boo, and then we're going to be rocking a bardiche for damage. We have vigor rings and a necklace of peace for health, as well as a vitality cloak. And we're going to test this kit to square up against a literal Barbarian Squire kit, matching gear pieces. In this test, we're both going to use Rage, no other abilities, and we're going to get just headshots. So this is a test specifically just on headshot damage, but if you're good enough, you can hit your headshots. And as you can see when we do this testing, it takes 2 headshots to kill in a full kit from a Squire Bardiche. But it also only takes 2 headshots to kill from the purple Bardiche against the Squire kit. Both ways, it kind of makes it feel like the kit didn't matter whatsoever. Now, I understand if you're fighting against a rogue or maybe a survival bow ranger, it may take an extra arrow or stab to kill you, and there is a point where this does matter. But if most players are playing with these heavy weapons anyway, it doesn't feel like building any health is purposeful at the moment. The only things that feel like they have a true purpose right now is agility for the move speed and dexterity for the action speed to be able to get the first striker's advantage. Outside of that, the casters also get knowledge for more spells and cast speed. Vigor, strength, will, all of these feel like they're kind of dump stats. They feel like they don't have any value right now. There might be an off case where maybe Rogue getting Rupture, getting his 0% physical damage bonus makes sense, but for the most part, these things will not change your time to kill, so why build them, even full legendary kits? Now, full disclosure, I did not loot much in this semi-wipe. I've just been running Squire kits and taking potions, not really looting anything at all, so I didn't have a ton of funds to work with. So this kit is entirely legendary, with the exception of the Bardiche and the jewelry, which are all epic. You can see from the damage I take from these hits, though, that having an extra 3 or 4 vigor won't actually impact my survival chances here. Now, I'm making this video just to show exactly how useless gear is at the moment. It just kind of makes sense to run the Squire kit. You'll actually have more of an advantage buying protection potions of high grade than you would have buying legendary armor gear. This has to change for the game to go on. Right now, the only form of progression we have is gear. If gear is pointless, why would you spend money getting it? Why would you loot it from the dungeon? Just run your Squire kit. It's the same thing. It might have some advantages for agility to get the extra move speed, like I said, but outside of that, there's not a driving reason to get any loot in the game anymore. And this has been the sentiment I've seen all around the dungeon from players of all levels. I've made new friends recently with people who are brand new to the game. They've just been playing PvE, and they also feel like the game is harder now. They have worse gear, and they get hit once by the cockatrice in the head for a headshot, and they're dead. There's not a reason for them to play either right now. If the purpose of this is for new players, it doesn't seem like it's the way. I mean, I'm running around in the dungeon right now as a warlock with a halberd, one-hitting everybody, sometimes 2 if they're a barbarian. And I'm doing it 1v3, which I guess was the vision, but it just doesn't seem fair anymore. I'm just bullying people because this is what it feels like the game is meant to be played. Recently, we kind of stopped fighting people and just tried making friends in the dungeon because it wasn't fun bullying people. But you go to HRs and it's kind of a ghost town. It's hard to find players there because no one wants to play it because the only incentive for HR was to get better gear, and I mean, it's all just the same now. And I understand the whole point of this patch was to test gear, and we're going to go through a couple of different swings and it'll hopefully end up good in the end. But it really is scary to see the game that I've loved for the last couple of years kind of dwindling down to no players, and at the same time, you see messages from SDF in his cooking channel, his kitchen, which he's saying things like he's happy with the direction of the game. I think this is kind of a low bar to have for your game. He mentions that he doesn't know how to make games for the larger population, but rather just games he likes, but it seems like this is going to become a game that nobody likes. Everyone I talk to in the dungeon all unanimously hate this. The game is bombing on Steam. I don't understand the point of it. So I kind of felt the need to make this video and just kind of express my thoughts. I mean, they could make skill trees that have some kind of way to make your character stronger and then you don't lose that progress when you die in the dungeon, but personally, I feel like extraction games are supposed to be hard. The growth that you get over time is part of the learning curve that makes people want to play the game more. We've seen so many extraction games come out and fail. There was the Call of Duty one that lasted for, what, a week because there was no progression and there was no learning. People just came in with the same knowledge they had, and then they quit the game because they'd rather just go shoot each other in the normal matches. Extraction games have to have depth. The only other two that are thriving right now, Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown, both have multiple different layers of depth, and they might have shorter times to kill, and gear might matter less in those games as well, but there's infinitely more ways that the game progresses along the way to make you feel like you're doing something when you're playing the game rather than just hitting people in an arena game. I say all of this with hopes that the game becomes what we once loved again, but at the moment it is kind of bleak. I do plan to continue playing and continue just messing around in the dungeon, but I can't see myself actually doing any meaningful grinding anymore. This was a game that I've spent thousands of hours in, and I had plans to spend thousands more in, but at the moment I'm just doing what my bare minimum for streams are and then ending the stream. That more or less kind of sums up my thoughts. If you enjoy the yapping video, I've never kind of done one of these before, let me know. Maybe I could talk more about the state of the game. If you were just here for the guide content, I'm sorry this polluted your feed and hopefully it gave you some insight, but if you just want to go back to watching those, feel free. And if you were here from the Dungeon Games video, that's still coming out. I still plan to release that fully, but at the moment, I don't know if there will be a season 2. It just depends on if they make the game worth sticking around for and making content for, because it's hard to put hundreds of hours into a video all for it to only have 2,000 viewers because no one's watching content on the game at the moment. That said, if you don't already, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the dungeon.